Howdy, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Hope y'all doing okay today. So, I watched just finished my favorite podcast of the year. It's a Dave Rubin show that happens every September. For those of you that don't know, Dave Rubin is kind of a political podcaster, commentator on national and big state level news. Really an interesting guy, and it's even more interesting that I enjoy Dave Rubin from like the traditional political sense. Like, you wouldn't think I would listen to this guy. And I found out about him probably in 2017-ish, I'm thinking. Just one of those YouTube recommended podcast kind of thing. And I actually enjoyed his show, and mainly I started listening. Sorry, that's the school letting me know that my daughter's out today when she has a doctor's note. You wouldn't think I'd enjoy his show. When I first started listening to Dave Rubin, he was still very much on the left, voting Democrat, agreeing with the lion's share of Democratic policies. Well, he has moved to more center. If you were to, he'd be like a JFK Democrat, moderate Republican, a centrist, somewhere in that area, politically. He's gay, he's married, he's adopting kids, doing the surrogate thing. But my favorite show of his, and I've listened to every one of them since I've been following his podcast, is his Back on the Grid special. Every year for 6 years, I think now, he has taken the month of August off. He doesn't do any of his political commentary. He puts some stuff back, interviews and whatnot, where nothing news related in there, just talking to different people, and goes off the air for the month. He typically leaves his cell phone with somebody. He might have like a burner, so no social media, no news. Tries not to stay tries to avoid being made politically aware of what's going on for a month. And it's always fascinating to listen to his return to the grid show, I guess you'd call it. He'll have someone on there that's been prearranged, take care of this, take care of that, and they will do a couple hour long, bring him up to speed on the news that he missed. And it's pretty interesting just to see the reactions on all that, because, most news that you get, even if you're watching the news live, their reactions aren't necessarily live. Like, they knew about this story several minutes before going to broadcast. There's very few times in live news where the reaction is live. So, as an example, take, say, the bombing of the Boston Marathon. They knew something was up, but they may not have found out all the details, and so it's raw but not completely unfiltered. Well, this is completely raw and unfiltered, and I really, really enjoy watching that show. And so he had people that knew him come up to him and say, "Did you hear? Did you hear?" "Hear what?" "You probably didn't. I don't want to spoil nothing. You're off the grid. Respect that." And he found out about the raid in Mar-a-Lago, found out about Nancy Pelosi going to Taiwan, found out all sorts of stuff, and I just really enjoy that show, and I've enjoyed it for a number of years because, you know, basically, like, he's like, nothing could surprise me. In Philadelphia, I think, is going back to mask mandates, and he's just sitting there. You gotta be kidding me, right? So it's just one of my favorite shows. This isn't a plug. I'm not getting paid for this. I'd highly recommend, if you want to watch something that's political without a high level of partisanship or out and out commentary for how long the show is, I'd highly recommend you watch any of the Dave Rubin Return to the Grid specials. He had one with Larry Elder, Michael Knowles, Adam Carolla. I can't remember. I think he had Ben Shapiro bring him back on the grid once. I'm not positive about that, but I just highly recommend you watch it, because the show isn't so much about the politics or the policies of these things. It's about his reactions of, you know, what he's being told, and, you know, maybe finding out the little pieces of news that pardon me, that slipped through the cracks, you know, where he went out to go do something and overheard this piece of news. So highly recommend it. Great show. I really enjoy it. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Catch y'all next time.